Ready to take your favorite WagerTalk handicappers wherever you travel this football season? The WagerTalk TV app is now live for phones, tablets, smart TVs, and streaming platforms. Tune into your favorite shows like WagerTalk Today, Bet on It, and the Opening Line Report, plus browse through our extensive library of sports betting tips. Create your personal playlist of betting tip videos to help you prepare for the upcoming season, and set notifications to alert you when new content is added. Download the app for Apple, Android, Amazon, and Roku devices by searching for WagerTalk TV, or scan the QR code on your screen to join the winning conversation today.
Welcome into First Pitch for Wednesday, August 31st. I am Drew Martin, joined by Ariel Epstein and Adam Trigger. Find Adam, WagerTalk.com, Ariel, MLB Network, and Yahoo Sports. We're breaking down 3 games on the slate. We got best bets at the end. Dodgers, Mets, Orioles, Guardians, and Yankees and Angels are the 3 games, like always, followed by best bets. Huge shout out to the chat box. Come and join us live. Let us know what you are betting. Any questions, feel free to fire away as we head to Citi Field for our first game here, Ariel. Dodgers versus Mets. DeGrom on the hill for the Metropolitans. Anderson, the lefty, going for the Dodgers. 6.5 being the total. Low total here, Ariel. Minus 160. The Mets as the home favorite, meaning Dodgers getting as high as plus 145. I don't know off the top of my head, Ariel, but I'm thinking this is the biggest underdog price the Dodgers have been in quite some time. We normally don't see them even going off as underdogs. They've won 41 of their last 50 games. You liking anything in Citi Field tonight, Ariel?
Drew, there's no reason to do any research for this game. All you have to know is that the Mets ace, Jacob deGrom, is on the mound tonight. That said, the New York Mets team total under of 3.5, that's the play. It's always the play. Team total under on the Mets with their ace, Jacob deGrom, pitching. DeGrom, whenever he starts, the Mets are averaging 1 less run per game with DeGrom starting than any other game where any other pitcher starts. It's bizarre. It's dating back to the beginning of 2021. The Mets average just over 4 runs a game with all their other starters, just over 3 runs a game when DeGrom's pitching. Looking at Tyler Anderson's numbers now, in the last 2 games, he's allowed 1 earned run in both games against Miami. He allowed 3 against Kansas City, 0 against San Diego before that. His last bad outing was against San Francisco on August 2nd. He gave up 5 earned runs, but other than that, he had an amazing July. 3 straight shutouts, allowed a max of 3 runs in a game. Anderson is a good pitcher. The Mets are going to struggle to hit against Anderson tonight. In addition to DeGrom being on the mound, it's the perfect storm. This number was 4.5 in the last DeGrom start. I got the under and cashed in on the Mets team total under there. Now it's 3.5 because Anderson is a better pitcher than who the Mets faced his last outing. I would still take the under 3.5 for the team total of the New York Mets, Drew.
Okay, like it, Ariel. Good start here. Trig, what are you thinking? I mean, I was going more side here just because the Dodgers, I mean, at my favorite sports book in Las Vegas, plus 149 at the Westgate. They've won 3 straight, 8-2 their last 10. And like I said before, 41 out of their last 50 games in the win column. And you're getting near, plus $1.50 on them? That's why I like him. But hey, DeGrom's on the hill for the Mets, and always tough to go against that pitcher.
Yeah, Drew, listen, if you're a fan of baseball and you're not worried about betting games, like this is the game for you tonight. Like this is the best baseball game on. It's probably an NLCS preview, but if you're trying to bet games, I don't know how you bet this game because you've got the Dodgers who are 41-9 in their last 50 games. But like there's absolutely no question DeGrom is the better option than Tyler Anderson, and the teams are pretty even. So it's like the Mets would be my play here in a straight fade of Tyler Anderson because I've been sort of, Anderson's a guy I've wanted to fade all season. But with that being said, going back to what Ariel said, kind of brought up, his ERA in his last 18 starts is 2.25. Like he's managed to parlay this dream start into really like an incredible season. I mean, the Dodgers are 18-4 the last 22 times Anderson has stepped on the mound. He's just having a great season, and the Dodgers are a great team. So, to your point, Drew, are you really trying to, can you even pass up plus 140 on arguably the best team in baseball when they've got a comparable pitcher? Like DeGrom is amazing, but if we're like looking at just this season right now, Anderson's not that far behind him. So I could see about 14 other games I'd rather bet on the board than this one. But you know what? I kind of agree with Ariel. The Mets, for whatever reason, they just don't hit when DeGrom's on the mound. And Tyler Anderson's been good enough where you have to at least, think that it could be, that could be a play or it could be a lower scoring game. It's not a game that I'd want to sort of go against the grain and take an over in. So I'll roll with Ariel here. I think she's onto something with the team total under. And if you force me to lean on a side, I'd want to take the Mets, but the math just doesn't make sense, Drew. I can't lay $1.60 to back the Mets here. So slightest lean to Mets, and I'll just trust that the prop queen's got a winner in the team total under.
Like it, Trig. Good start here. Paco Healy in the house saying, what's good, Drew, Queen, and Trig? He's like in first five under 3.5. We got Brandon in the house as well. Mitch, Johnny Outlaw. Every game on the board is coming up actually after this, Johnny. So thanks for asking, guys. And we got next game up, Cleveland at home hosting the Baltimore Orioles. Lyles versus McKenzie here, Trig. We're seeing the Guardians / they have changed their name. I know some people asking questions here. -165, -170, 8 being the total. Baltimore's lost 2 straight. They're only 30-37 on the road here, Trig. A lot better team at home. Getting a big plus price here. What do you like in Baltimore and Cleveland?
Drew, the fact that I've even ever lost $1 betting against the Orioles this season is something that'll probably haunt me for a while, just because I was so high on them coming into the season. I was playing on the Orioles before anyone was talking about this team. Now they're 3 games out of the out of the playoffs, and I've actually taken a couple losses fading them here over the past month or so. In this game, there's no way I'm going to give the Orioles a run and a half ever. So I would only play Orioles plus 1.5 here. The juice kind of prices me out here, Drew. It's a little bit expensive. I don't really. I love my plus 1.5s, as you guys know, but I don't like laying -145 to get it. So kind of priced out on that regard. But the Orioles, they haven't hit lately, but this team is just, they find ways to win games that really don't show up on the stat sheet, in my opinion. And they've even in spite of that, their sort of cold bats of late, they're still finding a way to at least sort of win one, lose one, which is just really speaks to what a good team this is. And the other thing I love that they're doing, they call up Gunnar Henderson yesterday. I think he'll probably make his debut tonight. They just keep injecting the youth and these stars of tomorrow into this team, and they pretty much said that when they traded Mancini, that they're going to try to win this year with their guys. They're young guys. Listen, the Guardians are a great story in their own respect. They very well may come out of nowhere to win the AL Central. The pitching has been incredible. The bullpen hasn't given up an earned run in 11 games, and no one is hitting Tristan McKenzie right now. But Drew, the only way I could play it is Orioles plus 1.5. Jordan Lyles has been a true pro. The guy's been in the league for over a decade. He doesn't have great stuff, but he just finds a way to give them 5-6 innings and give them a chance to win. So Orioles plus 1.5 is a little expensive, but probably the only way I could go in this one.
Okay. Ariel, coming to you next. And guys, just a note, we did have the graphic messed up in terms of Cleveland is the favorite, about -170 here, total of 8. You liking anything here, Ariel?
Love what Trig said about the pitcher for Cleveland, Tristan McKenzie. That's why I like his over 18.5 outs. 4 of the last 5 home starts McKenzie's made, he's gone at least 7 innings, which puts him over 18.5 outs. Has to pitch into the 6th. If he does that, McKenzie's golden here. He's done well at home. Hasn't been able to be hit pretty hard. In addition to the Orioles struggling more on the road than they do at home, I'm going with the over 18.5 outs for Tristan McKenzie.
Last game on the card here. But before we get to it, hey, I wanted to go a little off script. Trig and Ariel, did you notice seeing that little line in the reading before the show? Padres Giants April series in Mexico City next year, starting it off. What do you think? Could that be a trip, a group chat trip, or no way?
My first thought, Drew, is you'll be at the game. Like, that was my first thought, is Drew's going to want to try to go to this game somehow.
Oh yeah.
So
I don't think the whole group chat likes baseball enough to travel there.
Okay.
Chris Thurston will not go. He said there is no way he's ever going to Mexico again ever in his life. So I can tell you he's out. And I can guarantee
Kelly's not going to go to Mexico
for a baseball game. But
Kelly wouldn't travel for a baseball game. This is her off season. She needs to save all her money in travels and free Southwest flights for when she goes a million weekends of the college football season to a new stadium.
Yeah.
She went to Costa Rica.
That's
not that much different. I don't know. I think there's a chance. Maybe a mini group chat.
We've got to save up. We've got March Madness coming around. March Madness is a group chat trip. That's going to be fun.
All right.
Uncle Benny would go to Mexico City. Uncle Benny would go, no doubt.
Yeah.
It's a game I'm definitely going to be looking to bet the over. Mexico City is a higher elevation than even Denver, so something to keep in mind, guys. For next April, the Padres and the Giants in Mexico City for a series. I might be going solo unless I can convince some of the group chat. I don't know. Let us know out there in the reply section if you have any interest in heading to Mexico City next year for that series. We got one game left before best bets. Yankees, Angels, late night here. Ariel, your Yankees, Garrett Cole on the hill. Minus 190, though. It's not like they've been playing that great of baseball of late. They do have Cole on the hill, 7.5 the total. Although Sandoval, the lefty for the Angels, he's been pretty good of late. You like it anything tonight, late night in Southern California?
Take the under 5.5 strikeouts for Angels lefty Patrick Sandoval. That's because the Yankees have the 6th lowest K rate against left-handed pitchers this year, averaging just over 4 strikeouts a game. The Yankees, being one of those low K rate teams against lefties, Sandoval's gone under 5.5 strikeouts in 8 of 13 games where he's faced a team with a bottom 15 K rate against left-handers. Under 5.5 strikeouts for Sandoval tonight, Drew.
Okay, and Trig, what do you like in Angel Stadium tonight, man?
Drew, I've cashed multiple best bets this week on Angels plus 1.5, and I'm not going to get to the window with it for a best bet here, but it's the only way I would probably go in this game. I still think the Angels are way undervalued. Their pitching has been tremendous since like the middle of July. They have one of the lowest team ERAs in the league. And listen, Garrett Cole, he's Garrett Cole, right? Like the headline here is going to be his last 7 games against the Angels. He's 7-0, 1.83 ERA. But guess what? Everyone knows that. Garrett Cole is going to be baked into the line. It doesn't matter how good his numbers are against the Angels. That's baked into the number that he's a dominant pitcher and he's one of the better starters in the league. But, you know, Sandoval, even though he might not rack up the strikeouts, the Yankees don't hit off speed particularly well. And Sandoval's almost all off speed pitches now. He doesn't throw a ton of fastballs. And I could see the Yankees struggling with that. They've seemed to, they'll have their outbursts on this road trip so far. They had a big game against the A's, kind of went quiet, didn't hit much in the first game of this series. They did, get the offense going last night. But I like Patrick Sandoval, and he has a 1.07 ERA in August, so he's kind of on a roll right now. Listen, the Angels, I've said this multiple times in the past week. I think this team, with no pressure and no expectations, is finally just starting to play ball. And they're actually a pretty good baseball team when it boils down to it, especially when Mike Trout and Shohei Ohtani are in the lineup and when they're hitting, and they have both been hitting of late, Drew. They are both red hot right now. So if Ohtani and Trout are hitting the ball, I'll take my chances that the other 7 guys can do something. And here I'd be willing to take my chances that Patrick Sandoval pitches pretty good. And I'll take, if the free run and a half holds up one way or another, I wouldn't be surprised if the Angels won. And I wouldn't be surprised if it was a close game, but probably pretty low scoring at that.
Sure. Something to keep in mind, guys. Trout and Ohtani back in the middle of that lineup. So the Angels healthier, maybe a little bit better in current form than their record actually states. So we got best bets up now. Again, huge shout out to the chat box. Please smash that like button if you are liking the content. Welcome in Jessica, Brandon, Sweet, James, Jones, Aper 003 as well. As we got best bets going right now, 7:05 Eastern in our nation's capital is where I'm going to start with Caprillion on the hill for the A's. He actually got blown up last time out. But before that, this guy's pretty good here for the A's. They've won 3 straight, and they're going up against the Nationals. Nationals are the worst team in baseball by their record, 43-86. on the season. Yes, they've lost twice as many games as they've won, 43-86. Let me say that one more time. And they're also 20-47 at home. Only 20 wins out of 67 games as the home team. Market price them as pick 'em, 8.5 the total. I'll take, actually, if you shop around, you can get plus 100 on the road underdog. That is the A's winning 3 straight games. I think they win 4 straight. I'm on the A's plus 100 for my best bet. Throw it over to Ariel Epstein. Follow her on Twitter at Ariel Epstein. Check her out. MLB Network. She's got a lot going on there. She's got Yahoo Sports as well. And right here on Wednesdays on First Pitch. Ariel, any final thoughts for the show, and where are you going for best bets?
Final thoughts. Always love hanging out with you guys, especially doing our MLB show. My best bet is going back to the New York Mets team total under 3.5 runs. Sorry to the producers that I gave you a K-prop. I'm iffy on it. Still thinking about it. The K-prop, I'll let you know on social media. Mets team total under 3.5 runs is at minus 115 in most markets. The Mets average 1 less run per game when DeGrom's on the mound versus any other starter. That's all you've got to know. Tyler Anderson's been pitching great. Give me the team total under 3.5 for the Mets.
Good stuff from Ariel, as always. And Adam Trigger, which you can catch tonight on The Hustle, 6 o'clock right here on the Wager Talk YouTube channel at Top Flight SI on Twitter. Trig, where are you heading for best bets, and any final thoughts for the show?
Well, my final thoughts for the show is, I kind of copped out of that Mets-Dodgers game. So because of that, well, I plan on doing it anyway. I'm going to give one of my 4% plays. I haven't done it in a while, so we'll go client play for best bet, and we'll go to a different game, Drew. This is a 4% play for me. No need to go to WagerTalk and buy it because I'm going to give it right here for free. It is the Tigers plus 1.5. Drew, Marco Gonzalez is still a fade for me. I don't care that he finally managed to have a couple good starts against the he's going to have to do more than pitch good against the Guardians and the A's to make me think he's not still a hard fade. He's got one of the lowest strikeout rates of any starting pitcher in the league, and his ERA in the 6 starts prior to those 2 recently, 6.69. I just don't think I don't think he's a great pitcher, first of all, and second, I don't think the numbers really do it justice because he's given up a lot of hard contact that I don't think he's really gotten fully penalized for, if you will. So Detroit Tigers last year were 5-1 against the Mariners. So I know they got knocked around last night, but they matched up well with this team last year. And they've actually either split or won their last 4 series, which just goes back to, this is a team that didn't get off the mat early this season and dug themselves a sizable hole. They're not going to go to the playoffs this year, Drew, but they're a pretty respectable team, at least right now, in my opinion. Their bullpen, the Tigers bullpen, has some elite numbers. Like, you look at their bullpen numbers, and this looks like a playoff type team. 3.38 ERA is 7th in the league. Their WAR is 5. It's 4th in the majors, and they have a 1.23 WHIP, which I believe is 12th coming into play today. Their only problem is they can't hit, but I think they will hit Marco Gonzalez. And, Alexander gets the ball to start. Hasn't been great as a starter, but he is a good reliever. They had the off day yesterday, they had the off day on Monday. They got killed yesterday. All their high leverage relief arms are there. I really think the Tigers can win this game, and I'll grab the 1.5. I gave it to my clients at minus 118. So Tigers plus 1.5, minus 118, 4% best bet for me.
Tigers plus the run line for Trig. Guys, check out Trig, wagertalk.com. Promo 2-for-1 college football best bet package. He's 43-32, 57% in college football, plus 57% ROI. Best bet recap here, the A's plus 100. Trig on the Tigers, just heard it there, plus 1.5, minus 118. And Ariel, Mets team total under 3.5. minus 115. Check out Trig, wagertalk.com, Ariel, MLB Network, Yahoo Sports. I am Drew Martin. Guys, thanks for tuning in. Please smash that like button. Feel free to reply below. Best of luck with your bets. We'll be back tomorrow. Same time, same place. Come back and join us.
Ready to take your favorite WagerTalk handicappers wherever you travel this football season? The WagerTalk TV app is now live for phones, tablets, smart TVs, and streaming platforms. Tune into your favorite shows like WagerTalk Today, Bet On It, and the Opening Line Report. Plus, browse through our extensive library of sports betting tips. Create your personal playlist of betting tip videos to help you prepare for the upcoming season, and set notifications to alert you when new content is added. Download the app for Apple, Android, Amazon, and Roku devices by searching for WagerTalk TV, or scan the QR code on your screen to join the winning conversation today.